love how the waters are completely melted. Hello.
Oh, we're now we're encoding frames.
There we go.
Yeah, welcome to the
hot
pool show.
Yeah,
melted
everything's really wet.
melted ice and condensation show, the WAN show, live streaming to you here from beautiful.
The melted ice and condensation show.
Yeah, well, condensation can melt.
If WAN show ever lands on an April Fool's, we should just change what the show is about and be super hardcore about whatever it is.
Yeah, it could be like the chicken show. Like all the latest news about chickens. Chickens, chicken farming, chicken breeding. Is chicken breeding chicken farming?
Whoa.
Because you sow chickens and then you harvest chickens.
What's
effectively it is.
Well, it's animal husbandry.
Yeah. That's right.
Welcome to the Animal Husbandry and Farming Show.
We've got a lot of great topics for you guys today, including
NVIDIA'S GTX 1000. I didn't know if you were ready for that one.
You took that from me.
Sorry,
also,
bro.
some bad news about the GTX 1080 with respect to SLI. If you're super hardcore into having lots of graphics cards.
Yes, or not that bad news, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Oxford study finds that virtual reality can help treat severe paranoia, which is sweet.
And the Hyperloop 1 shows us how fast we could get from here to there.
Kinda.
More at 11.
Also known as now.
We'll see.
Ish.
Oh, I am so sweaty. Just sitting here, everything about me is damp.
I look like a different person. Unless you look under my brows. Then it's a
Old Taylor.
Yep. Only under the
All right.
So, NVIDIA'S 1000 series.
Oh, I was just going to say, it has been a frickin' week.
Yep.
He went to the unveiling of the GTX 1080 and 1070. Why did they call it the 1080?
Yeah.
Do they enjoy creating confusion?
And I the whole time I was like, okay, no one's confused yet, but I've only talked to reviewers and tech heads, and then I talked to Taryn, and he was like, wait, does that mean it's a 1080 card or a 4K card? Can it play 4K games? And I'm like, oh, damn it.
And people are going to walk into a store.
Totally.
Okay, and
Yep.
you're going to have a big box sales rep, and they're going to say, I want to buy a 1080. And they're going to be like, LG, Samsung, Asus. And the
Totally.
customer's going to be like, Samsung's a good brand. I'll have a 1080 Samsung.
Yep.
And that's going to be bad because that's not going to be what they meant to buy, and it's going to be a big problem. Wow, I think that was one of the monkeys.
That's a monkey.
So for those of you doubting that we are actually in a jungle, that sound effect could not possibly have been pre-recorded and added into the stream after the fact. And we've got a doubter that we're even live right now. Yeah, we've got... Hold on. Let me scroll back up for a second.
Chat's going
Jester 61?
We
Come
are
on,
live.
you are the real Jester.
We are live.
Oh my goodness.
We are live.
No one. We get this all the time. Oh, you guys aren't live. All right, well, we're going to tell you live
Like every show.
about the GTX 1080. So let me just,
Yes.
original poster here is, apparently no one. So I'm going to pull up the original article here from a non-tech. Get this on the screen. Luke was there, though. He
Yep.
doesn't need an article from a non-tech. Walk us through what you experienced.
So, one thing that I want to address immediately, because I think this is really important, is because it sounds awesome. The performance sounds great. People aren't benchmarking it yet. You'll maybe hear about that later. Super ambiguous, no real details thing. But yeah, no user benchmarks have happened yet. But they did claim 2 times the performance of a Titan X and 3 times the efficiency of a Titan X power efficiency. That did have a little caveat there. That was VR specifically, and we'll get more into it later. There's a software thing that they're doing that's allowing them to get more performance in VR.
Which is still interesting to
That's
me.
super interesting.
As someone who definitely has a Vive in the mail.
Yes.
Not in the mail yet, but
Yes.
soon to be in the mail.
And talking to some of the NVIDIA guys after the event, Jay's 2 cents and I were like, yo, you didn't talk about DX11 or 12 at all. Because honestly, in their press event, I didn't see enough people complaining about this. They didn't mention those performance metrics once. So we asked them what was going on there, and they said it should be 15% faster than two 980s or a 980 Ti or a Titan X.
Which makes sense, because, I mean, if you look at the specs, it's like, yeah, it's got a lot more clock speed. Yeah, it's on a new process node.
16 nanometer.
But they are pulling the same thing that they've now done for 3 generations, including this one, where they released their second from the top tier chip, which traditionally would have been, like if you go all the way back to the 400 series, that traditionally would have been a 460, okay? Like the equivalent die size chip. So they're releasing that as a high end, and then they're going to follow it up, presumably, with, I can never keep track of
GP100.
Yeah, with a GP100.
So
the GP104.
Yes, so the 1080 and the 1070 are GP104s, and the presumably Titan whatever.
Titan
Y?
Titan Yellow.
Titan Mexico?
Titan Mexico edition.
I don't know.
Because it's hot.
Oh, snap! So whatever that is, and the 1080 Ti and whatever else possibly will be the GP100.
By the way, I finally figured it out. Because I was like, they always have these letters in the code names.
Okay.
It's GeForce Kepler numbers.
Oh my god.
GeForce Maxwell numbers. That's why the that's why the P100 isn't GP100, because it's just Pascal 100. It is not the gamer SKU.
Oh my god, that makes so
that
much
was what
sense.
Finally clued me into it. So that's
Did you
why
figure that out, or did you read that somewhere?
No, I was just thinking about it. I was like, okay, so it's called GP104. Now I get to remember another stupid.
I don't know if.
So that's GF, Fermi, GeForce
yeah, no,
Fermi.
I gotcha. Yeah,
But finally makes
no,
sense.
it all lines up.
I am an idiot. Anyway,
the chat's probably telling us we're dumb.
I know. Here it comes. It's always with the time. Always with the time delay. All right. What else you got from the event there?
Okay, so there was 4 major features. So you guys know most of the specs. It was 8 gigabytes GDDR5X.
Faster. Clocked it over 2 gigahertz.
And that was on the 1080. And then it was 8 gigabytes still, but GDDR5, which is probably completely fine. No?
Wait, no, it's not
For the
GDDR5X?
1070.
Oh, 1070.
1070 is just 8 gigabytes of GDDR5, but that's probably completely fine. We'll get benchmarks of that at some point. I don't know when.
Sorry, I had some paperwork caught in my throat there.
Oh, sly. But one quote that they have is that the GTX 1080 and presumably 1070 is built to make the most of today's multi-monitor setups, curved screens, and head-mounted displays, and that's like a thing. The reason why they brought that up was simultaneous multi-projection, which is something that they've been working on, where they can, and they've had stuff like this in the past, but this is much more. So they're making it so that they can render more than one like viewing angle at once. So basically, if you have a multi-monitor setup, yeah, this is super cool. You're going to like this a lot. If you have a multi-monitor setup, and I explained this in the software video a little bit, but I'm going to go into it more here. If you have a multi-monitor setup, usually with your displays curved on the side, because you'd have them angled in towards you.
You mean more like angled on the side?
Angled on the side,
because curved displays are a different thing.
And curved displays also have this problem, though.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Just
Especially,
slightly different.
Like, I mean, maybe not most of the ones that are out there now, but
Yep.
like, remember that prototype that Alienware showed off, that super curved one? That would definitely suffer from distortion of the rendering at the edges.
And sometimes even just having a crazy wide screen, like playing in 21:9 at all, will have these problems. It's not as big of a deal. I didn't really cover this much in the individual video because it's kind of a use case scenario depending on what game you play and stuff, if they support that resolution. A lot of times they don't, so it stretches it, and to stretch it, you have these warping problems where the scale is screwed up on a lot of the objects on the sides.
Yeah,
and
so like the cockpit, like the bars for the window of the cockpit are like this thick.
They're massive
on the side.
They take up almost the entire screen.
Yeah.
And you play Rocket League and everything on the sides is warped out, and this happens when you have multiple displays as well, and it's even worse because you angle them in, and then things like break as they go across the screens because the angle that you have them on doesn't look right and stuff.
Right.
Simultaneous multi-projection should theoretically fix all of these things. I don't know how, and I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah.
But they can figure out the angle of your screens, and they can solve that problem and line everything up for you. So if you're looking at something, even across angled screens, it will be flat.
That is incredible.
And they fix there's no more skew, there's no more warping going on. They fix all that kind of stuff. The scale's fixed.
I should have put an asterisk on that. That's incredible. Wow, that's incredible. Tell me more.
If it works, we need to test it.
If it works, does it require game dev support? Do we even know this yet? Can we talk about this yet?
I don't know if we know that yet.
Okay. What else we got?
Then
Let's talk about the one you're stoked on.
Ansel?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ansel's really cool. I don't know if we have the games that are supported for it right now. This one does need dev support. I don't see a game list here. I did mention the entire game list in my video. One of them is like the Division. Wow, I'm not going to remember the other ones right now. One of them is the Division.
I'll try and pull it up. Just talk about the feature for now.
What Ansel is essentially a incredibly badass screenshot software.
Which, when he told me about it, I was like, okay.
Yeah, I had to asterisk that with, like, trust me, it's interesting in the video as well, because, like, no, it's actually really cool. It can screenshot things. I don't remember the exact resolution, but it's up to 32 times your monitor's resolution, and then there's another resolution number, which is, like, whatever one you hit first, but it's, like, 65,000 by 32,000 or something ridiculous.
Now, they showed it off with this ginormous canvas, about 15 by 3 meters, created using Ansel, that has a 2 gigapixel capture from The Witcher 3. Now, to be clear, none of this is going to make your game that you're playing run at that kind of a resolution.
No.
That is not how it works. But in much the same way that dynamic super resolution, which they launched with the 980, can take more samples. Like, it can kind of go, okay, what if we were rendering the game at 4 times the resolution? And
you're basically running a render of the scene.
Yes.
And then instead of just having it go from your view, it's rendering everything. So the camera will actually, what you do in order to perform an Ansel screenshot isn't just press print screen. They wanted to say this a million times during the show.
Yeah.
They're like, no more print screen button. Whoa. Although hopefully you can bind it or something, because that would be cool. But it like pauses the game. You get a free cam. So say I'm like punching you and my head's down here. You could change the camera so that instead of like being out here and it's a fighting game, the camera's now looking up at me. An angle that you would never be able to get traditionally. It would then move once you tell it to take the screenshot, it would then move the camera around and make sure that it gets everything from every different angle. And one situation that they showed with The Witcher is they took a screenshot like really far out of what I believe was a castle, going off of memory.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, but because of the insane resolution, you can zoom all the way in through this window and then look at a book and see the printing on the book.
Which is super
really cool. And this allows you to do things like, there's really not that many notes, but there's something called EXR, which for camera people means that it has like amazingly good color information. It's basically like taking a raw photo.
Right.
So you could essentially like change the lighting in the scenes. You could make it basically be day, even if the photo was taken like at night. And you can do a lot of really cool things in terms of cropping. You can even take 360-degree photos. So if you want to, like, one thing that I thought of would have been really cool, you have to enable it. The game developer has to enable it, so this wouldn't be possible.
So I've got that list. Witcher 3 was used to show it off. Other games that have announced Ansel support include The Division, The Witness, Lawbreakers, Paragon, No Man's Sky, Unreal Tournament, and Abduction. So there you go. At
the event, someone asked if it would work with Shadowplay, so you could go back into a Shadowplay recording and then run Ansel. And they said that they would not comment on it yet.
That doesn't seem like it should work.
That doesn't seem possible.
That really doesn't seem like it should work. Because I thought the way Shadowplay is working is it's basically just an H.264 encoding of...
I was surprised that the guy seemed enthusiastic when he said that they can't comment on it yet. So I'm not really sure how that works.
I would have thought the answer would have been no, you idiot.
Yes.
Like,
but maybe, who knows? Maybe they're changing Shadowplay.
And maybe NVIDIA hasn't been entirely transparent about how Shadowplay works.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That seems pretty freaking
It would be
cool
very
to me.
cool if you could go like, wow, that was cool. Let me go back and like make sure I have a really cool render of that. Because something I would have really liked is I'm going to talk about classic WoW again. When Australis went down, there was all those like people gatherings and all that kind of stuff. They released something called Australis Memories, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
Where you can go back in and like be there again. It would be super cool if Ansel existed, so you could get like crazy angles like way above where everyone was,
Right.
and have really interesting views. It's not built into the game, so it will not work. But that's the first thing I thought of was if this was enabled way back when it definitely didn't exist, it would have been super cool to have those kind of screenshots, something that you could relive. And you could take a 360-degree photo.
This is going to make
with
people
Ansel.
so hungry for like 16K
Beautiful
monitors
games.
and like 8 to 10 times more powerful GPUs. Because honestly, going back and playing games that you haven't played since you were running, even going back and playing something like Far Cry 1, which you might have run the first time on like a 6600 GT or something like that. It is amazing how much more is left in those games when you run them on more powerful hardware and you really crank up all the details,
again,
especially the engines that scale well.
This is not increasing the resolution of the game.
No, not what you're actually running.
Yes, it's
of
just
the
taking a very
screenshot.
high resolution screenshot.
So it's what it would look like if you could do that.
Yeah. So, like, one really cool thing, too, is you can take these photos, and then there's an app for your phone now, NVIDIA VR Viewer, I believe it's called, and you can send the Ansel screenshot to that app and then view it in, like, a Google Cardboard or something. They gave everyone at the event Google Cardboards.
Very cool.
So that we would be able to do that. Obviously, haven't been able to yet because don't have it, but that will be very cool once you're able to.
So there's some more VR features, path traced audio, which is, for regular two-dimensional gaming, also applicable, but for VR is particularly important. So
and like needs to be pinpoint accurate. So that's very cool that they're working on that. One thing that I don't have a lot to say about this. There's path traced audio. It should massively increase the precision of you being able to figure out where things are based on sound, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to tell if something's in another room.
Yeah, or if it's behind something, or if it goes
something.
from being behind something to being not behind something.
Yes, exactly.
Something that, like, all of the 3D audio solutions that exist today, quite frankly, just are not good enough at, from my experience.
And I've heard, this is completely hearsay, but I've heard that one of the main guys that they have working on this used to work with, like, the U.S. military on, like, sound stuff in terms of, like, taking the reverberation of sounds in order to find snipers and tanks and stuff within cities from like super far away. So like,
well, I'm glad he's working on something important now.
yeah, well, I'm assuming he figured that stuff out. But like, so he's probably pretty good. I don't know. So that should be cool. And one thing that I'm super excited for is, I know it sounds really lame visually, but it would actually be a lot of fun to do, is if they release, like if Disney releases like a small tech demo where you get to do the training droid fight. So if you go to put your helmet on and then it becomes black, and then you just hear where the training droid is, and it takes shots and you have to try to block them.
That would be crazy.
That would be so much fun. It sounds so stupid visually because you literally put a headset on in order to see blackness.
Yeah.
But like it would be really fun.
That would be really fun.
Yeah, I don't know. So,
Speaking of really fun, this was originally posted by ALN118. The original article here is from overclock3d.net. Let's go ahead and pull this baby up.
So a member of the EVGA tech support team has confirmed that the 1080 will be limited, and assuming the rest of the lineup, will be limited to two-way SLI. And they said that we can confirm that 1080 cards only support up to two-way SLI, and anything above this will not work no matter the SLI bridge. Just to explain that last point, there's a new SLI bridge.
Can you use an old one?
Theoretically, no. I've heard. I don't know. No one really knows.
So.
I even contacted them seeing if we could get another card to test SLI because it's supposed to be new and improved and stuff. Yeah. And they're like, no one's getting that yet. They will be eventually, but they're like, well, we want to keep fair ground, so you guys can't be the only one with SLI tests. Yeah.
Okay.
And I was told in that I would need the new SLI bridge. So yeah, I think you have to use the new SLI bridge.
Okay.
It hasn't been like outright confirmed.
Interesting.
But,
The
yeah.
SLI bridge has been with us for like 10 years, I think.
Yes,
It goes
and
all the way back to 6000 series.
That's not old.
Holy crap!
And something that I did notice was if you look, you might be able to pull this up right now, maybe not. If you look at my coverage of the when we're having the talk with all of us in the room, I
Yeah.
have some B-roll of a system that was built by BS Mods. They're awesome. Check them out. And it has 2 cards in it in SLI, not 3, not 4, only 2, and it has the new SLI bridge on it,
Yeah.
and it's big. And that matters because I was checking out my sample card, because when
Yeah.
I first read this, I was like, what? Mine had 2 fingers on it. And it does. I double-checked. It has 2 SLI fingers on it, but the SLI bridge was big. So I think what they're really doing is just teaming the SLI lanes.
Yeah, because they even said it's double the. Really?
So they're just teaming the SLI lanes. Like, I'm pretty sure, it's not confirmed, but like, that the bridge is big, meaning it's probably taking up both of them, and there are 2 fingers on my card.
Now,
I don't have it here, but like, I guarantee
Do you think they're gonna let us just put on 2 old bridges, or do you think they did something stupid like cross the paths internally on the bridge so people can't do that easily?
I'm assuming there is some type of internal logic that teams them together.
Okay. But then does that
I
mean
don't
you have to
necessarily
buy
think-
it separately? 'Cause,
Probably.
I mean,
I don't know if motherboard manufacturers are going to include that,
oh,
especially
man.
at different spacings,
I mean,
right?
that's the thing. I love progress as much as anyone, but when you have such a staple as the SLI bridge, like I have like multiple
So
bins
many.
of SLI bridges.
And
I
you have
like
your favorite ones
I have
in
like
different
my
colors.
like I got
and
my old DFI LAN party one with the
yeah.
black PCB. Like, huh?
And one thing that was interesting was I expected before I went to the event that in our like goodie bag, which had the April Fool's energy drink and like
Yeah.
the Cliff Bar and stuff, which is actually kind of funny, they were going to be giving us an SLI bridge.
Right.
The reason why I thought that was because on the like press sign up page,
Right.
there was a question asking us what our favorite motherboard spacing for 2-way SLI was,
And then no.
and then no.
Oh, that's
So I'm wondering if they were polling everyone that went to the event to figure out which spacings they should have more available.
I hope this isn't something that you have to buy from Nvidia.com or something.
Yeah, that would suck. Personally, I'm not super worried that we're now limited to 2.
Yeah.
Because 3 and 4 is pretty dumb anyway.
We've talked about it time and time again. 3 and 4 is not good. Even if the FPS number is higher, like, people who send me their system config and they're like, yeah, I'm getting 3 because I'm a super BA dude.
You end up
I'm
getting
like, no,
a lot
actually, you just get stuttering and it's just
Yeah.
and compatibility issues and it's just bad.
Go back and watch the compensator. That had 4...
4 cards, yeah,
4
4
cards.
980, 4 tight Nexus, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
4 Titan Nexus, and like, it was unplayable in anything.
Yeah.
Because so much stuttering and like just... it was gross to play anything on that machine.
And that
I'm hoping that if they're limited to 2 now, they will just
and that would
focus on 2.
completely explain the limitation to 2 as well. If it's just 2 old bridges.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't, okay, I think you cracked the code.
I think so.
Speaking of cracking the code, if you were thinking to yourself, gee, I sure wish I could launch a new career as a code cracker. I actually don't know that lynda.com has code cracking courses.
But you could learn programming, which
Yes.
could maybe lead you into that kind of field.
I wasn't even going to try and bring it into something they actually teach.
We did it, though.
But we did it. We did it. So they've got web development, photography, visual
They
design.
teach you Excel.
business.
That's where you can store your cracked codes.
Training software, like Photoshop.
Word is where you could like write documentation for other people in
Lordy.
terms of like how you crack the code.
So all the courses are taught by industry experts with new courses added every week. And whether you're setting new financial goals for yourself, finding work-life balance, investing in a new hobby, or you just want to ask your boss for a raise, lynda.com could be your path to it. They've got tons of great features, like being able to browse along with the course transcript and just click anywhere on the text and skip
Yep.
to that point in the video.
I've
The
used
abil-
that many times, actually.
The ability to download to your iOS or Android app and watch offline when you're on a bus, say for example, time that would have been otherwise wasted. And plans start at only $25 a month. So all you got to do to get a 10-day free trial is head over to lynda.com/wanshow, which we will have linked in the video description.
Description.
Our next sponsor is TunnelBear, the bears that tunnel. Boy, do they ever. TunnelBear is the easy-to-use VPN app for mobile and desktop. It lets you tunnel through up to 20 different countries for your internet access. Not up to, you just do one of them at a time, so any of 20 different countries. And that means that you can use online services and browse the internet as though you're there. So they make it easy. There's no DNS configuration, port forwarding, or any other nonsense like that. You download the app, which is available for PC, Mac, iOS, Android. They've even got a Chrome extension. And then you just go, I want to be from, I don't know, the United States, because I love, U.S. web services, say, for example. And boom, your connection gets encrypted, and your public IP switches to an American one.
That allows you to watch stuff like Comedy Central, I think.
That's right, and you can try out TunnelBear for free to find out if it's right for you with 500 megabytes of data and no credit card required by heading over to tunnelbear.com/WAN, where you can also save 10% on your paid unlimited TunnelBear subscription. Speaking of unlimited, we don't have
monetize your code
unlimited time in the day. What are we talking about? FreshBooks.
FreshBooks.
Yeah. FreshBooks.
Yeah.
Because you don't have unlimited time to monetize your whatever he was talking about, let's just do them both. FreshBooks lets you stay organized, save time, and make more money by focusing your effort on your own business.
Cracking.
Whether it's plumbing, whether it's, making arts and crafty type thing and selling them, whether it's, house painting, whether it's small IT service, whether it's
grooming dogs.
Whether it's dog grooming. FreshBooks is a cloud tool that lets you track your expenses, keep track of your invoices for your clients, email invoices to your clients, get paid directly through FreshBooks, and basically make your life easier. If you're not the kind of person who finishes a long day of teaching dance lessons in your garage and wants to sit down in front of the computer and do some accounting.
Yeah, that sounds kind of
Which is not a thing that most small business owners are really that into, because let's face it, if you were a small business owner who was into accounting, you would start up a business as an accountant, wouldn't you?
That actually makes a ton of sense.
Makes a ton of sense.
You know what? After a long day of doing accounting, you probably don't want to do your own accounting.
Isn't that such a thing, though? Like
that
the
actually
mechanic
might
that drives the beater?
Be quite legitimate, yeah.
It's really funny, though. Like, the mechanic driving the beater is less offensive. But or less is more offensive, rather. But would you let a dentist work on your teeth that had really bad teeth?
Oh.
But they can't even work on their own teeth anyway. They could be a great dentist, but have a bad dentist.
There was that Russian surgeon that operated on himself in Antarctica. Removed his appendix or something.
I think that's the exception, not the
rule. Okay, maybe. That guy's crazy.
Speaking of exceptions and not the rule, I'm just going to fire this up. Most of our content is available to everyone on YouTube. Some of it, like Nerd Sports, is only available on Vessel, and episode 4, Hockey, is out. Now, I can't tell you guys how to, sort of manage your subscriptions to services, but what I can say is Vessel offers a 1-week free trial that gives you early access up to a week to a ton of content creators, not just all of our channels. And if you were to start your 1-week trial now, you would be able to check out. I'm just going to screen share with you guys here. I'm going to try not to have it sort of go to forever. No, wait. Would allow you to check out all 4 of the episodes that are already up on Vessel, and it would allow you to have a subscription still when the 5th and final of our first portion of the series comes out very shortly. So here's some teaser footage. That's the team we played against, which was super terrifying, by the way, in case you guys were wondering about that. And this is sort of more along the lines of what you can expect from us. Yep, look at us go. Where's Colton? Colton was hilarious. He was freaking awesome. I'm sorry the bit rate's really low. The connection here at the hotel in Mexico is not exactly that great, and we are streaming, so we're actually... It's actually kind of a miracle that loaded at all. So you can check it out. The link's going to be in the video description over on YouTube, but it's Vessel.com. It's not exactly complicated. All right, so let's move on to some of
Well,
our
I posted in the chat too.
some of our additional topics here.
But I guess for the YouTube viewers, it'll be down below.
Here we go. This is freaking cool. So the original here is from Gizmag. I'm just gonna fire this up here and start up my battery bank again. I think I'm triggering either overheating or overcurrent protection. Trying to keep my laptop juiced up here.
So this is a very early test. It's called a propulsion open air test, or POAT. It does use electromagnets to propel a sled at 115 miles per gallon, apparently, considering Colton wrote it. But it's actually 115 miles per hour, or 185 kilometers per hour, which is pretty damn impressive, along a test track running 1,500 feet long. So this isn't actually to test like how fast it can go. This is more of like a stepping stone theory kind of deal. So they're going to add on to it and 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 grow and prove the theory as they grow. This is just kind of an early stage thing. So I know people would be like, I thought they were claiming it would go much faster than that, like 700 miles per hour. And you're right. They were.
What voice is that?
And I don't know.
That was awful.
I don't know. And hopefully they will grow up to that point. But this is an early on thing. It's open air. It's supposed to be in a vacuum tube. Like, one of the main points of this whole thing is that it's in a vacuum tube. They don't have that part going quite yet, so yeah, it's fine. They're just testing like the sand shark sled and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, battery's critical.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness. This is gonna be awkward. Okay, do you want to give them some more specs on that puppy?
Okay, yeah. So it's about 10 miles north of Las Vegas, Nevada. Claiming a bunch of stuff that we've already heard about. Apparently the experiment, when the capsule is created, will be using a compressor to create a stronger vacuum ahead of the vehicle to cut down on air resistance, all this kind of stuff we already knew. Even the test system will include a passenger and cargo compartment and batteries to power the system, and contain a levitation device to lift the capsule off the guardrails, which will probably be air bursts or something along those lines, or air bursts or magnets. But I believe last time I heard it was air bursts, so that should be pretty cool. We have a picture here, which I will try to bring up, although I'm using Linus's laptop. I'm not sure how things are set up. So we're gonna go news item.
It was a 1,500-foot track. Blah, blah.
Already did that.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
I'm trying to buy you time here.
no worries. There you go. So there's the sled, which is obviously not going to carry huge amounts of cargo or people or literally anything. Kind of looks like a little cute spider thing. But yeah,
I'm
like
back.
I said, they're going to grow on that and move from there. So this is cool, but it might not have been what you expected, but it is still very cool. Their video for it is like massively overproduced, which is kind of fun, but you know, whatever.
All right, Amazon Direct Video Service. So this was originally posted by Samael on the forum. The original article here is from The Verge. Let me just go ahead and bring up that news item here. Amazon challenges YouTube by offering uploaders a cut of the ads.
Which I don't think is right at all.
That is a very sensationalist and honestly a little bit misleading headline, because speaking as a YouTuber, I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm pretty sure that checks show up monthly from YouTube, where they give us a cut of, and I think it's to do with the ads on the videos.
Maybe the ads.
I mean, if it's not to do with the ads on the videos, then I'm sorry, guys. I'm just going to disable them from now on, because apparently it's just coming from Magic. So let's go through Colton's notes on this thing. See if we can demystify this a bit. We'll let video creators share content and receive a cut of the revenue. Okay, offering creators a variety of ways to earn money, including royalties through streaming to Prime members. That's cool, because right now YouTube does not have a subscription service that gives YouTubers a cut of the royalties for the monthly. Oh wait, hold on a second.
Huh. YouTube, Rouge? Is it Rouge?
Rouge, Red Tube? Is that it?
Oh my.
No, don't go there.
Oh my.
Unless you want to, but, and you're overage.
Interesting.
Sorry. But with that said, I mean, if we had Amazon Prime subscribers in our audience, and we were to do some kind of YouTube Red series or something, which we don't have in the works at all, by the way. Seriously, we have nothing going on with YouTube Red.
They wouldn't be able to access it unless they had YouTube Red as well.
That's right. So if we were to say, okay, yeah, it'll be on Prime and it'll be on YouTube Red, all of a sudden we're giving people choices. And if they already have Prime anyway, because they shop at Amazon all the time, then that's cool. So the revenue sharing will be through rentals, purchases, subscriptions, and ad impressions. So it sounds like it could be free to use. You probably won't need a Prime membership. And Amazon definitely has the video serving horses to make something like this happen. So that's pretty cool.
I don't know at all, but just reading this and looking at what Amazon's doing, I'm getting the vibe that they're not targeting people like us.
Right.
I think they're targeting more of a Vimeo crowd than a YouTube crowd. Because looking at like the pictures that they're using as their samples and stuff, it's not like super fun, we did weird thing. I don't know what stuff is super popular on YouTube. Kids stuff. React things. Like,
Are
it
we
doesn't
allowed
seem
to
like
say
that
React?
at all. I don't know. It doesn't seem like any of that at all. It seems like little, like, user-created shows. So, like, if Rocket Jump made longer episodes...
So more like podcasts or like
maybe podcasts, that would
or
make
like
sense. So maybe this
so like episodic content,
or like shows, or like very like more higher production value. Oh, that's not good.
Is that battery dying as well?
I think so.
Oh, that could be bad. We might be an audio only cast for a little bit here. While I summon Brandon to bring us another battery.
Anyways, I'm going to keep talking. It seems like, higher production quality, not really like reviews or like short kind of contained videos. It seems like they're still leaving that market up to YouTube. So...
Ay, perdón.
Hello.
It's okay.
It's all good.
Disculpen,
So yeah, I think they're still leaving that kind of stuff up to YouTube. I think it's going to be more high production quality, like short movies is basically what I kind of think they're going for. Anyways, moving on. Oxford study finds that virtual reality can help treat severe paranoia. If you just like share, okay, yeah, that kind of works.
Hold on, I got this. Okay, we're back.
Nice.
We're back. We're
That's
back in
awesome.
action. No, never mind. Brandon says he can't. I'm just telling him we're switching to the webcam.
There we go.
We're improvising. We're improvising in Mexico.
All right. So an Oxford study finds...
I'm gonna put the mic on top of the computer.
That's in the water.
It's WAN show time again, kids. It's also like right in front of your face. All right, wouldn't be the first time I put it there. Okay. So, what else we got for topics here?
Anyways, sorry. Oxford study finds virtual reality can help treat... So, wow, I don't know where to look now.
Posted by Insanely Secret D on the forum, by the way.
Insanely Secret D, that's a fantastic name.
The Secret D.
Anyways, VR can help treat severe paranoia by allowing people to face situations that they fear. Now, severe paranoia is like... Oh, you gotta fix that
I'm
one.
working on it.
Is like 1 to 2% of the population. So that's actually pretty significant if you go into total number of people. And it is like a mental health issue. And severe paranoia is like not cool. Anyways, how they do it is they have people face their fears in VR. So they already did a trial. One group was encouraged to use normal defensive behaviors, and another group was told to hold a long stare or stand toe-to-toe with the avatars that encompass their fears, I guess. And super cool, over 50% of the patients no longer had severe paranoia at the end of their testing day.
1 day?
Day.
1 day.
It says singular day. I don't know if, like, I haven't read super deeply into the article. I don't know if it was a whole
That's incredible.
thing, but it does
if it works
say
at
day.
all, if it does anything at all, even if you need, like, regular therapy, let's say, for
cares?
example, like VR therapy.
Yeah.
I am so excited about stuff like that. I mean,
Totally.
Using technology for gaming is great. I am super down for using it for gaming. Why am I looking at that camera still? The camera's here.
Yeah.
I'm super down for using it for gaming,
Jay.
but using it for making people's actual RL lives better. That is the real deal. Speaking of real deal, this was originally posted by Onotech.
Okay, one thing I want to drop in. Over 50% of the patients no longer had severe paranoia at the end of the day that were, I believe, lowering their defenses and standing toe-to-toe. And the ones that used their defenses, 20% of that group no longer had severe paranoia at the end of the day.
So you still have to conquer your fear.
Yeah.
You still have to, like...
But you can go
look it in the eye,
knowing...
that it's not real.
That it's not real, and you're in VR, and you know that personally, and that must make it so much easier, considering 50% of them were able to overcome their severe paranoia in a day. It must have been easier for them to do so.
So let's launch into some rapid-fire topics here.
Civilization 6 has been announced, and it looks freaking awesome!
Oh, I was going to do the Micron one, but
Sorry,
sure,
no,
that's fine.
I had to do that.
But where is that even?
Civilization 6? It's probably down a little bit. There's
Civilization.
like no details on it at all. They're making it so that when you build your city, it expanses a little bit. Wow, I'm still looking at the wrong camera. It expanses, so you don't just have like a singular location, and you have districts. So you have like your industrial district and like your food growth district and your culture district and all that kind of stuff. Then people can attack districts individually when they come to fight you, and it makes it so that like, I believe, if I remember correctly, there's more intertrade between cities. So if you have one city that's in the mountains, it can be like totally industry focused. Then you have one that's like along a nice river, it could be like totally growth and food focused, and they can interchange with each other. The problem that might introduce, say someone comes and wipes out your growth city, then your industry city is stuck with no food.
Right.
So they're trying to make it so that each game is more...
So rush the Great Wall! And what's the Colossus, I think, is...
Yeah, basically. So that'll probably
rush Great Wall and Colossus! Still a good strategy.
Probably.
4 or 5 iterations of the game later.
But yeah, they're trying to make it so that each game is more unique. So basically, where your city is placed will more greatly influence how that city will naturally grow.
That is a struggle for Civ.
Yeah, it is. So they're working on that a lot. They're also working on, I think they call it advanced multiplayer.
We're getting so much crap for our crappy camera quality. You know what? We are streaming to you from Mexico, so... Sorry, go
I'm surprised
ahead.
it's even working.
Yeah,
okay?
It's a miracle it's working at all.
Anyways,
sorry, I'm looking at the wrong camera again.
I think it's called Advanced Multiplayer. We have no notes on this. It's supposed to make scenarios that are easier to be completed within a single play session with friends.
Oh.
Which is also a huge thing that they need to come over.
Yeah.
Because the long play, like have everyone come over for a whole day and do it, is still cool. Risk is fun. But being able to have a smaller contained experience is also very cool.
Because there's people who have time to play Civ, and then there's people with jobs and families, quite frankly.
I haven't been able to do a full play Civ game with friends in a very long time.
Yeah.
And that's like one of my favorite things to do.
So,
yeah.
NVIDIA launches GTX 1080 with Micron GDDR5X. And Micron has officially ramped up full-scale production of GDDR5X. Which shouldn't come as any surprise, given that there are cards launching that have it. This is interesting. This was posted. Oh, that was posted by Onotech. Next one here is posted by Captain Gaz, and this is fascinating. PayPal to pull payment protection for crowdfunding sites on June 25th. They're basically saying, look. If you haven't seen all the news articles, if you haven't been burned already, if you haven't seen the episode of South Park, if you haven't seen Luke's Neptune Pine video, we're sorry, but we don't feel bad for you anymore. When you give them your money, understand that you are giving them your money.
Can we talk about how amazing this title image is for a moment?
What?
It's just like someone took like a not great picture of like the side of someone's phone that had a PayPal logo on it.
Yeah.
And then we're just like, that's good enough.
Honestly,
what?
It kind of
is. But like, what? How did you even think of that? Like, it's just on a table.
I want. You know
what? Works.
You know what? You know what? I bet it is because no one would be taking no one would be doing like phone device photography with another phone camera. And you're like, look how crap this looks. You know what? I bet it is. I bet it is actually. Like a crop
of a video that they've made or something?
A photo they took for a phone for a review that happened to have a PayPal logo. And why they would even why they wouldn't just put a PayPal logo at the top of the page.
Yeah, like
I don't
sure
know.
PayPal has like logos for people to use for that kind of stuff.
But
I
here
don't
you
know.
go. Kickstarter notes about 9% of their projects never deliver, and that is not accounting for the ones that deliver garbage.
Sorry, Dad. You'll get your hammer eventually.
Yeah. And if the campaign just goes bust or doesn't deliver, you can no longer dispute the charge. So in a statement made to Engadget from PayPal, they said, in Australia, Brazil, Canada, Japan, United States, and certain other countries, we have excluded payments made to crowdfunding campaigns from our buyer protection program.
I think this is fine. I don't think PayPal can be expected to do that. To be completely honest, what do you think?
No, I think it's completely reasonable, especially given that you're not exactly getting, blindsided by this anymore.
Yeah.
All right, I've got okay, there's a couple more big ones. The city of Zug, oh lordy, it's Swiss, so who knows. This was posted by Data Lub on the forum. City of Zug is the first government to accept Bitcoin. Dun, dun, dun. This legitimizes Bitcoin in, I don't know. Swiss bank. What you doing? Oh, you want me to translate the page?
There you go.
Yes. I guess I should have done that.
City will worldwide
wow.
to Bitcoin pioneer.
Oh, boy. You made nothing better. You officially did not help at all. Let the record show that you were not helpful.
We definitely knew it said that. That was great.
I'm going to change scenes here eventually. All right, let's get my notes up here. So, the Swiss town is billing itself as a hub for the digital currency industry. Will accept Bitcoin for some payments starting this summer. So, the town council in Zug approved. Every time I say it wrong, I'm going to be buried alive here.
Chad is already
approved plans to accept payments of up to 200 Swiss francs for the municipal registration fees starting July 1st. Part of an experiment, and many in Zug tout the town's reputation as part of Crypto Valley. Approximately 15 companies linked to the digital currency business in Crypto Valley. Very cool.
This article doesn't show an umlaut over it, so I would expect that and then it to be Zug. But because of that, now I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know what to tell you. All right, this was posted by Z-Mule, and this is freaking awesome! Microsoft has announced, the original article here is from Ars Technica, Microsoft has announced removal of some of the particularly stupid restrictions that they've placed on Universal Windows apps, particularly games that people were complaining about. Things like that you couldn't run native full screen. You had to run borderless window mode. Things like this, and this is the one that we're specifically talking about here that we've got from our article here. Requiring VSync. Why? I don't want that VSync lag. Please do not make me have it.
It's super annoying.
Because it's bad and terrible. So gamers will have better control over performance and picture quality trade-offs. The latest update is that you'll now be able to decide whether or not to have VSync enabled, and you will be able to use G-Sync and FreeSync as well.
Which is super good, because that would be so frustrating. Owning, I don't own one yet. I hope to eventually get one. But owning a G-Sync screen or a FreeSync screen and just not being able to use it.
Because it's better.
Yeah.
It really, really, truly is objectively better. Speaking of objectively better, the WAN show normally, so we're sorry about this that we got going on here. But I think that's pretty much it for the show. We will see you guys again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, totally different bat location.
No after party today.
Yeah, no after party.
No.
Well, there'll be an after party, but you guys aren't invited.
Ha-ha!
Mexico!